Alright, so this 16-minute chest dips workout, we're gonna start by setting the rings at shoulder height. That way our feet are on the ground and we can have some support. For starters, I'm just gonna warm up a little bit, doing some random movements here, trying to extend and put some weight in different positions, testing out my range of motion, how it's feeling in the morning. Here I'm just opening and closing my arms, and then with my arms open, I'm swinging my arms from side to side, forward and backwards. I'm really focusing on having strong hands and also putting weight on my forearms. That way I do not feel like my elbows are getting strained. I would also jump a little bit, start getting a little bit more weight on the rings, getting the back of my chest, front of my chest, my lats, and just moving around as very controlled, not a lot of weight, and just seeing how my body's feeling. I'll usually take around 5 minutes just playing around, see how it feels. Be aware of your surroundings though, because sometimes playing around can lead to hitting yourself. As you can see further in the video, I do end up hitting myself just a little bit with this new fridge that we have in the back that needs to be repaired. I will also go into some pulling positions. Here I'm just placing my feet on the ground and having my hips above from the ground. That way I'm hanging. I still have some weight from my feet to decrease the tension. Just swing from side to side, letting my hands get used to being on a grip position, and then my lats being stretched. Just warming up my upper body. Today is a kind of a light workout. It's going to be simple. Maybe not light, but it's going to be simple. We're going to do few exercises, but a lot of reps and go until failure. So I wanted to warm up, especially if I woke up really tired today, so I really wanted to warm up. So here I'm playing around and I hit the fridge. It was light, hopefully lighter than you expected. So I'm gonna start by just putting the rings on the side of my chest, jumping into a hold, and holding here for a couple seconds, trying to get into a full open position with my palms forward. I am still getting there. Then lower myself back down slowly as possible. I am focusing a lot on the negatives of this workout. So jump up, hold until I feel comfortable. Failure has two meanings. It is either when your muscles quit and you fall down, or it will be when you're starting to feel some pain in a muscle or a specific part of your body. So you stop so that pain doesn't lead to an injury. So if you feel a little bit discomfort, that's okay. But if it starts getting painful, just leave it there. So now a couple holds. Now I'm just pushing myself up. So jumping less, but pushing myself up. And then I'm gonna get into the forward position. Just trying to hold it as long as I can. You can see me shaking there. I started with this hold because it's going to be the beginning of my workout, and I lower myself slowly to my feet. Just going to stop for a second, check if the angle is okay. So we did 3 rounds of holding ourselves, jumping into position, or you can just push into position depending on how you're feeling right now. Let's start light. We're gonna get into harder progressions. The idea behind this workout is that I'm gonna do these same movements but with time I'm gonna be adding weight. So now I'm gonna do a couple of dips series where I am gonna just do regular body weight dips on the rings, make it feel a little bit harder. And possibly next week I'm gonna start adding my first weights. So I'm just doing some fly here, opening up and stretching the top part of my shoulder, which I had not stretched at the beginning. So I'm just letting myself hang here, open up my chest, open up my shoulders, my trapeziums. Walking all the way back into top position. Always trying to keep some tension on my arms and my hands, so my forearms are blasted after these workout. Hopefully yours are gonna be too. So pushing myself up this time, no jumping, and then I'm gonna go down into one dip and then up. You can notice that I am not going too fast or too eccentric on my movement, going down all the way slowly and then placing my feet on the ground, completing the movement as if I was doing a muscle up. As you can see, I am trying to do slowly here. I'm not going for a lot of reps. I'm going for range of motion. So pushing myself back up, getting that forward hand and then going back down. And now I'm going for 2 reps, going up again. And then down slowly, placing my feet. Wow, 3rd rep. It's really feeling it. 3rd rep. Going down slowly, and then placing my hands on the floor, getting my hands on my chest. So as you can see, I was stretching for full range of motion, and now I'm also doing my reps with full range of motion. That's my idea. Get strong on those weak spots. So I'm just hanging here, letting my hands rest a little bit, my forearms as well. And I'm going for my 3rd series. I'm trying to go till failure. I'm not doing it on the first chance. Pushing myself up now. Going down, full range of motion, hands almost next to your armpits. Pushing back up, all the way up. If you can lock shoulders, go ahead and do it. Try to push your shoulders away from your ears and then lower yourself down slowly, all the way down. I remember I felt some pain on my palm from the grip I was having. It's feeling like less every time I do this exercise, but it also, for me, works to change the position of my hand. Sometimes I will do a weird grip or a different grip just so I can manage to go through the pain or tiredness. Here I'm doing some swings, moving the shoulders around. Looks kind of goofy, but feels really good. If you see me trying out something in these videos, I assure you it was feeling good in the moment. Unless I'll stop. Okay, so pushing back up, down for 1, up, down for 2, up for a 3rd, push, and then all the way slowly down, hands to chest. It amazes me the difference in the intensity of an exercise when you do it full range of motion and slowly. With this exercise, really feels like it. So now I'm getting into the 2nd exercise, which is gonna be like tricep extensions, but on the rings. So starting position will be with your core engaged, pelvis forward like you would do on a plank, and you would try to get with your arms straight as low as you can, as low as your lats will let you. You will feel, at least I feel the tension on my shoulders, my lats. And once I'm there on the full position, on the most extended one, I would bend my elbows to 90 degrees, maybe a little bit more, or a little bit of a shorter angle, not 90, but maybe 80, 60, something like that. And then I will push myself back up, trying not to bend on their hips, but push myself back into that straight position on the plank style. That will be 1 rep. I'm doing between 6 and 10 on each set here. Here I'm doing 1 per time, so you can see from start to finish. Extend your arms up to the point where your lats are giving up, and then bend your elbows 90 degrees, stretch back, and then go all the way to standing up straight. The goal here is that your core doesn't collapse and your hips don't go form a banana or a U shape. You want to be forming like a heel or a curve, up curve. Grabbing the rings really hard and putting some weight on my wrists. So this is also very good for forearms. I felt my wrists and my forearms working really hard on this exercise. I enjoyed it a lot. And also the shoulder extension and mobility I found on the chest was really nice. You really see that, well, at least I saw that I have very tight lats, and I usually have less strength on full range of motion. That's why I'm trying to target these weak spots that I have found. Going for my last reps here. What I like about these exercises is that I could graduate how hard they were. So I would try to go as close to failure as possible. And if by any chance the exercises I went to failure and I needed to bail, or I needed some assistant like a false spotter that will help me complete the exercise, I could just adjust the position of my feet or use my hips to balance the weight and get me out of there. It's gonna be double-edged sword, because it would also be possible for you not to push yourself too much, but that's only cheating on yourself. Use it as a tool for you to push yourself harder and know that you are gonna be safe. That's the beauty of these exercises. No weight is gonna fall on you, and as long as you stop, if you're feeling any pain or there's pain accumulating into a place, at least for me, I have not found any injuries this way. I found that I can be without injuries for longer. Now I'm moving the set of my rings, and it's gonna be put on hip level, because now I'm gonna transition into a push-up style exercise. At the beginning of these, I wanted to see how it would feel to do kind of like the dips, but on a straight bar. And I found that I was blasted from the beginning. So what I switched into was more of like a bench press style. So I would go from having the rings, my hands would be parallel, like if I was holding a bar. I would start on my armpits or next to my chest, and then I will push all the way forward, and at the beginning of at the end of the motion, I would place my hands together, and then I would go down slowly. That will be 1 repetition. So you can see here how I got into that. At first I was doing some dip style, straight bar dips with my knees bent, and then I transitioned into having my body straight, working on not collapsing on the hips. So this was really hard, actually. I found that this was harder than the last exercise, to keep the core straight and the pelvis tilted forward. But you can see here I'm transitioning into this bench press style or push-up, where I would start at my armpits, then I will push forward and get my hands together. Really good. You can see me at the last exercise. My arms are shaking from the hard work. So here I would try a dip again with my legs, and it was hard going up. So I said, no, I'm just gonna keep doing my bench press style. So core engaged, going forward on a plank style, trying to find a stable position for my core, and then doing these reps on the push. I would do maybe 10 or 12 per set before I would rest for about 20 to 45 seconds. Depends on how you're feeling. I really love working pushing exercises on the rings. I feel like stability is very important for my shoulders, something that I really want to develop. Also full range of motion. And using the dips has helped me really achieve that or get better. Here I'm just stretching my lats. Very good way to stretch your lats, at least for me, it's worked wonders. Just to grab them, place your elbows next to your face, just keep getting lower and keep opening that chest. Reminds me of a position in stretching where you would do like a child's pose and then place your weight on your elbows. Has the same sensation. Okay, cooling down. We're gonna go into our last set of these push-ups. If you wanna join me, feel free to do so. Here I'm just playing around with the grip because the inside of my hand was hurting a lot. So I'm grabbing the ring more on the outside. Getting these chest press style. I feel like the movement is a little bit more appreciated as the reps go high. So here in the last set, I feel like I figured out the position. You can see I'm not collapsing too much on my hips. And then I have a clear range of motion where I'm going from my shoulders to this stretch hand on center position. Last reps here. Now I'm gonna go into some cooling down. Hope you enjoyed this workout. If you want to see more workouts like this one, follow Mauricio Move for more content.
planning on working out? Tracy. After work. You. When do you get off work tomorrow? Tracy. 5 o'clock. You. Great. I'm booked out the next 2 weeks, as is Mark. But he actually had a last-minute opening tomorrow, and he never has openings. Do you want that 5:30 spot after you get off work tomorrow? Yeah, that works, he says. You. Okay. Is this your cell phone, Tracy? Yes. Cool. I'll shoot you a text right now with the address and all the details. See you soon, Tracy. Click. Then send the text. That script is also how you get off the phone fast, so you can move on to the next lead. Use scarcity and urgency. I tell the following story probably every other day to a new gym owner who joins our ranks. Many moons ago, we used to have an 8-person sales team that traveled from gym to gym making sales for gym owners. It ended up being difficult to scale the business. 8 hotels, 8 rental cars, marketing spend times 8, commissions times 8, managing 800 plus new sales per month billing wise. But we learned a lot. One of the hallmark lessons I learned from this experience was that in a 21-day campaign period, our sales team would always do twice the number of sales in the last 5 days than they did in the first 2 weeks combined. Why do you think that was? Because our sales team realized later in the work cycle that they had to get the clients in the door or they wouldn't be able to get the sales commissions. As they neared the end of the 21 days, they changed the way they spoke to the prospect because they were doing the calculations in their heads and realized they had to get more people to sign up. And that was a change of conviction, not scripting. The salespeople had urgency. They wanted a bigger commission check for that period. So their tones changed. They spoke to the clients differently. They closed faster. The scarcity and urgency became real. And as a result, their show rates doubled. Inevitably, a gym owner will tell me, I'm using scarcity. I'm telling them there aren't that many spots left, but it's not working. Here's the thing. The human mind is really good at picking out BS. So you yourself need to be convinced that the urgency and scarcity are true. Here's why I believe it. If someone doesn't make it into the gym, it is very difficult for us to help them. So the reality is that if that person doesn't make it in for their appointment, it really can be their last chance of having a spot. Because the likelihood that they reschedule, show, and close is only like 10%. So we use everything we've got to get them to show up the first time they schedule. Which leads me to another little technique, the integrity tie-in. Here's how the script goes. Do you consider yourself a person of integrity? Of course. Great, because we only do business with people who have the same values as us. And when we say we're going to be somewhere, we mean it. So are you the type of person who keeps their commitments? Yes. Great. We're going to send you 3 reminders between now and then to do our part to help you keep that commitment. We're excited to see you. Is this your cell phone number? And you know the rest. People don't like doing things against positive character traits they identify with. This is a psychological technique known as labeling. Essentially, you label someone with a positive attribute, get them to agree with it, then provide them with a desired action that is in alignment with it. When you do this, most people will take that action to reinforce what they believe about themselves. So at the gym, they will demonstrate the positive attribute that they are, quote, a person who keeps their word, rather than just because they made an appointment. Number of outreach attempts. The number of times you contact potential clients is directly correlated to how many people actually walk into your door. It sounds straightforward, but it is what I would consider a sales law. The more attempts to reach out to someone, the more likely they are to schedule and believe it is important and show up. Many gym owners are shy and don't want to bother people, or they say, I only want people who don't need reminding because it's important to them. Well, that's silly, because no one knows who is calling them until they pick up and speak with you. At which point you can say something like, I know. If this is how much I bug you to get you into the gym before you're a client, imagine how much I'm going to do to make sure you show up. And that's pretty much all it takes. Think about this. If people forget their kids at daycare occasionally, they can easily forget your appointment. Don't be too proud to send multiple reminders. I recommend 15 outreach attempts over the first 3 days, a combination of text, call, and email to get a hold of people. And once you schedule them, give them at least 1 daily reminder until the day of the appointment. This will help impress them. Joe's Gym must be really good at training. Look at all they do. Day of appointment. You should send 2 texts. One is a personal video text in the morning, which I'll outline below. The second should be a picture of you making a goofy face pointing to the front of your facility with a relevant landmark, like, quote, across from the 7-Eleven on 8th, to reinforce that you're likable, real people. Video texts. I've got this strategy from Grant Cardone. What if this sales guy sent me a personal video text where he used my name? I thought it was so powerful we implemented it right away and saw an immediate lift in show rates. A simple 15 to 20 second video texted to a prospect the morning of the appointment does wonders. Here's an example script. Hey Tracy, it's Alex, one of the coaches here at 123 Fitness. We are real people and this is our gym. Show the front door and signage. Right across from Landmark. You are on my team for the defined end program name. I see you run the schedule for tonight at insert time. So I just wanted to send you this video to introduce myself and let you know we're excited to meet you and introduce you to everyone. Text me back what size shirt you want and I'll put it aside for you.